Yo, what's going on, Lakers fans? The 2025 NBA draft is over, and instead of leaving the draft empty handed and bidding us all Lakers fans adieu, the Lakers instead bid us all adieu, as in Adou Thiero. Because the Lakers managed to move up twice in this year's NBA draft from number 55 to number 45, and then from number 45 to number 36, where they inevitably drafted 6'7 swing forward Adou Thiero out of Arkansas. So huge props to Rob Pelinka for managing to trade down twice in this year's draft and nab the Lakers' defensive wing stopper of the future. And they only ended up using cash to do it instead of any future picks, considering the Orlando Magic traded like 4 future seconds just to jump to the number 32nd spot. I'd say Rob managing to jump from 55 to 36 with just cash is a huge win, and he deserves a lot of credit and praise, considering how many Lakers fans were losing their goddamn minds and crashing out after the first day of the draft that Rob Pelinka hadn't yet done anything. Anyways, this is Jonathan Hernandez. Welcome to the Lakers Legacy Podcast. This isn't actually a podcast segment. This will be an Adou Thiero player profile and film breakdown video. All right, as you can tell, I have Adou Thiero's player profile up. We are going to go through every single line of his draft profile that I've managed to whip up, and then we will look through some of his tape and some of his skill sets that I particularly want to highlight and that I've particularly gravitated towards. Before we get started, though, if you guys could please do me a huge favor and like this video, comment down below, let me know your thoughts on Adou, whether you like the pick, whether you think the Lakers should have gone big. Yeah, please do all those things, but most importantly, please also hit subscribe. I have done a tremendous and tireless amount of work the past few weeks trying to get you all caught up with the draft. And if you guys appreciate the types of breakdowns and videos that I do, please do me a huge favor and click subscribe. That would help me out a lot. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and look at Adou Thiero's player profile. Adou Thiero is 21 years old. He just turned 21 actually in May, so he's pretty young. His position in the NBA will likely be as a small forward, maybe a power forward eventually. Adou Thiero is 6'7" in height, and he does have a 7-foot wingspan. He also weighs 218 pounds. Last year, he played for Arkansas under Coach Calipari, and he's played in college for about 3 years now. Some additional miscellaneous facts about Adou Thiero. He is a Clutch client, so here we are again doing Clutch's bidding, although in this sense, I think it's more than mutually beneficial for both parties. As I mentioned, Adou Thiero has played in college the last 3 years, last year in Arkansas under Calipari, but also the previous 2 years before that, he also played for John Calipari at Kentucky. So something very interesting to note about Adou Thiero is the fact that he underwent a crazy growth spurt in high school. Coming into his freshman year, he was only 5'8", and he actually started off playing guard. And then his junior year, he sprouted to 6 feet. Senior year, he grew 5 more inches. He was 6'5" at that point, and now he is 6'7", 6'8", and probably still growing. In high school, as I mentioned, he started off playing the guard position so he can handle the ball a little. And then eventually, as he continued to grow, he ended up playing all 4 positions in high school. Looking at his college stats, last season with Arkansas, Adou Thiero averaged 15.1 points, a very healthy 5.8 rebounds, 1.9 assists. Don't scoff at that stat, by the way. 2 assists for a non-ball handling primary creating wing. He shot 54% from the field, only 25% from 3, knocking down a very low volume 0.43s a game. And then he also shot 68% from the free throw line. And one thing to note about that is he actually got to the line quite a bit last season. He averaged about 6.5 free throw attempts a game, which is pretty solid for a non-ball handling wing. He actually had 6 games last season where he had at least 10 plus free throw attempts, including a 12 for 21 game at the line. Although some of these other games, he shot 10 of 13 from the line, 9 of 12 from the line, 10 of 12 from the line, 9 of 10 from the line. So his shot is not broken, and he gets to the line a ton because he's so strong. Going back to his stats, looking at his defensive numbers, he averaged a very robust 1.6 steals per game and a very healthy 0.7 blocks per game as well. 2.3 combined stocks for this young man, Adou Thiero, and he did all of this in just 27 minutes per game. And so before we get into the tape, let me just wrap things up and give my general thoughts on Adou, because in my opinion, this was a great pick by the Lakers. Obviously, as you guys know, I did a bunch of video breakdowns on several other prospects, but most of those prospects either went early, some went later. It's clear that the Lakers targeted Adou for a very specific reason, and they did what they needed to do to make sure that they got their guy. And I'll admit, Adou Thiero was not in my purview over these last few weeks. I only just learned about him about 3 or 4 days ago. Someone commented on my YouTube video about wings that I should look into Adou Thiero. And the moment that I watched some of his tape, he quite frankly blew me away simply because of his sheer athleticism and dynamicness on both ends of the court. And so Adou Thiero is that athletic, explosive, physical clay at the wing position that I have wanted and coveted. When I was doing those young, high upside 3-and-D wings that the Lakers should look at in the draft, Adou Thiero was essentially who I was envisioning. As you all know, I heavily praised a prospect like Drake Powell, and Drake Powell obviously ended up going in the first round, number 22 to the Brooklyn Nets, I believe. And while Drake Powell is more of a traditional slithery wing, Adou is more like a power ox version of Drake Powell with more strength and bulk. But in terms of sheer explosiveness, athleticism, and speed, I think they're both pretty neck and neck. Now, Adou Thiero is raw in some aspects. He's definitely not a pure shooter at this stage, but there are some things about his game that are very moldable, things that you can definitely refine. And he's not as unskilled as you think either. Again, I'm going to keep hammering this point home. He used to be a guard. But yeah, in totality, I think the Lakers did a phenomenal job trading up to get a 3-and-D wing. I mean, the 3 is theoretical at this point, but getting a potential wing stopper in the future. And most importantly, the one skill that they fulfilled here is the athleticism, explosiveness, and speed deficit that they currently have. They were able to fill that hole with a project like Adou Thiero. Because again, last season, the last couple of years, the Lakers have been so bereft of a highlight reel dunker, a true speed demon in transition, a guy who will just tear the rim down and posterize dudes and overwhelm them with his sheer youthful pop. Up until this stage, a 40-year-old like LeBron James was probably our most explosive player. And then it was like Rui Hachimura and Jackson Hayes on some nights. So to get a young 21-year-old wing whose motor never stops in Adou Thiero, the future is bright for the Lakers, and I'm excited to see his development. All right, so let me pull up this tape. So I cobbled up some select plays of his and consolidated them into appropriate categories. Let's quickly go through some things that stand out to me about his game. None of this is going to be rocket science. You've seen the highlights. This is just going to be a more curated, organized way of looking at his skill set. So let's start with his dynamic transition play. All right, this first play, he gets the strip, takes it all the way down for a nice left-handed sledgehammer. And then did you see that really nice, cool anime stance at the end that he did there? That one-armed anime stance? Let's watch that again. Left-handed hammer. Look, stuck the landing. Here he is with the strip, beats everyone down the court, and then throws the windmill jam with his left hand. I don't think he's left-handed, but this dude loves to throw up some left-handed crushers, left-handed tomahawk jams. Almost hurt himself right there. But yeah, just the sheer athleticism of this guy and the power and force with which he throws the ball down into the hoop is very exciting. In transition again, this time just as the finisher, goes up strong with 2 hands. And yeah, the thing that you love about Adou is that he's got young legs, young fresh legs, and he knows how to run the hell out of the floor. So yeah, that's Adou in transition. He's fun, he's exciting, he's dynamic, he's a speed demon. He's a Sports Center top 10 highlight sort of player. All right, for this next section, I want to highlight how he attacks closeouts, highlight his quick first step, and his ability to get to the basket. Because with his long strides, his lanky wingspan, and his explosive pop off the floor, once he's near the rim, it's over from there because he is a tremendous finisher. He is a forceful finisher, and you just have to get out of the way once he rises on his tree trunk legs. So let's watch these closeout attacks and his quick first step. Boom. Look at that. Two-handed reverse dunk. Swings on the rim for good measure. All right, this next play out on the three-point line. He's going to get it. Tacks the closeout hard and then goes in for the left-handed crusher. And yeah, just notice how fluid and quick he is. It only takes him like 2 steps to get to the bucket, and then he just extends his arms and flushes it through. Next play, he's at the three-point arc. He's got a big closing out on him. Let's watch him use his speed and attack the basket. Pump fake, takes the big down. Okay, what I want to point out about this play is not only his speed, because obviously he's going to be fast against a big man, but just look at how strong he is. He's able to muscle this dude off like he wasn't even in the play. And we're talking about a center right there. So not only is Adou Thiero able to beat guys off the dribble with his speed, but once he's at the rim, he can just bully ball them all the way to the cup and then go up strong with 2 hands. All right, for these next plays, they're also going to be off the dribble plays. And I specifically wanted to show you guys the type of on-ball skill that he currently has, because he's not as raw and clunky a player as you think. And once he gets to the basket, he's not just a straight 2-hand dunk sort of player. He's actually got some skill. He's actually got some touch. He's actually got some finishing creativity. So let's watch some of these off the dribble, put the ball on the floor sort of plays where he's able to show off his versatility around the rim. Nice crossover dribble, spin move, and then a left-handed hook shot. Jeez. This next play, he gets the ball at the three-point arc, attacks the closeout, and then that nice hook shot. Nice hook flip shot. Here he is dribbling the ball, handling the pressure well. Ooh, and one. Let's watch that again. Top of the key, handling the pressure, gets stopped. Fakes the dribble handoff, goes in, gets the and one. Again, he's got some skill finishing in the paint, beyond just straight dunks. Here he is attacking the closeout, and look at that. Look at that extension with the right hand, his ability to evade the center and still flip that shot up. That's not a thunderous jam, but what that is someone who knows how to control his body well in the air, use good English, and still flip that shot up with skill. Let's just watch that play again. Gets the ball, quickly attacks, and then very nice, very poetic in the air. All right, for these next few plays, I want to showcase Adou's off-ball adeptness, how good he is as a cutter, how good he is as a lob threat, as a guy roaming the baseline in the dunker spot. Here he is coming in the baseline. Very nice alley-oop jam, thunderous, so much power, so much force. A lot of fun to watch. Here he is cutting down the lane and then goes up for a nice 2-handed strong jam once again, hangs on the rim for good measure. This play, he's going to set a screen, curl around, and there he is for the lob once again. And yeah, when you can have an athletic, explosive release valve like this, it really keeps the defense on their toes. And for a guy like Luka Doncic to have a player this athletic, this explosive, running all around the court, who doesn't need the ball, that's Luka's dream. All right, these next few clips, I want to highlight Adou's powerful offensive rebounding putback ability, because this dude is always trying to crash the glass and sky in for loose balls, and sometimes he doesn't even need to come down with the ball. He just jams it right through. So let's watch some of these offensive rebounding corner crashing plays. There he is, top of the screen, skying in for the 2-handed monster jam. This dude is a freak. It's crazy. Next play, here he is with his own shot, and then he grabs it out of the air with one hand. I want to replay that. Just watch what a monster one-handed rebound this is. And look, he's shooting this against like 3 or 4 guys. The paint is absolutely packed. Flips it up, gets his own rebound. Oh my gosh. With his left hand, and then just puts it back in. Yeah, you're going to need to put a body on this guy. If you don't, he's flying in and hammering this thing down. And then for these next few clips, let's look at his 3-point shooting because I know it's a hotly debated topic right now. But if you watch his shot and his shooting mechanics, there's nothing hitchy or broken about it. He actually gets it up pretty quickly. Maybe he starts his release off kind of low, but I don't know. I think it's a workable jump shot. And in high school, his high school coach pretty much deemed him a shooter who would sometimes have games where he'd hit 9 3-pointers, multiple 8 to 9 3-pointer games. So that's something he'll definitely have to work on. And then one other thing that I'll add about his 3-point shooting is apparently his growth spurt and the fact that he grew so rapidly in such a short amount of time. His hands also grew very rapidly in that same time span. And apparently, it took him some getting used to with regards to relearning how to shoot with these ginormous hands of his that he all of a sudden had. So I think that's one explanation for why his shot may have taken a dive, his efficiency 3-point shooting wise. So I think if he can just continue to harness and practice and get the reps with regards to catch and shoot 3-point shooting, I have hope that he'll become a serviceable 3-point shooter and round out that three part of his 3 and D game in the NBA. All right, lastly, let's look at his defensive versatility because, yeah, he can pretty much switch 1 through 5. He's a big, strong dude. And these first few clips, let's just watch the way that he's able to roam the court, show off his fluid mobility, and how he uses all of those to just be a rabid chaos agent and always looking to muck up passing lanes. So let's just watch a couple of these initial plays. You'll see him at the bottom of this screen here, kind of near the paint. Here he is. He gets the ball handler, shoots the gap, rolls with the roll man, and then look, he just holds his ground and gets the steal. All right, this next play, he's picking up the ball handler, stops the drive, and then he dives for the ball, dives for the loose ball. This next play, watch him angling for the steal. He's going to try and gamble. Doesn't get it, but look, he's able to recover anyways and still fight back into the play and strip the big of the ball. This next play, you'll see him in the paint and just watch what he does here. Just good read and react skills. Player tries to lob it, but there's Adou grabbing and snatching the ball out of the air with 2 hands and then coming down with it strongly. I mean, that is just such a physical feat to be able to pull off. Boom. Snatches it out of the air and then takes it down the other way. And then lastly, let's look at his freakish volleyball shot blocking ability because this is one of his best skill sets. He averaged 0.7 blocks per game last season. His ability to zip up and down the court and teleport to different places to reject a shot is quite uncanny. You'll see him in this clip right beneath the basket. Just watch how much ground he covers. Watch him come up. And then the cutter, he's still able to come back and block the shot. Chase down block. Insane. The amount of space he's able to cover on the court in such a short amount of time. This next play, where is he at? There he is. There's the volleyball block. Next play, he's coming in. Oh my gosh, that looks like Robert Williams. I mean, some of these block shots, he looks like he's a big man with how huge he is and how much force and verticality he has. It's crazy. Chase down block coming. Boom. LeBron James. Block from behind. Just watch how quickly he's able to come off the ground. He tries to attempt it once, he misses, and then he's able to quickly just rise up again and swat that shot away. Next play, where's he at? Here's number 3 coming in. Boom, get out of there. You see him down in the paint. Dude showed the ball off too early on that one. You can't show the ball off that early against Adou. He is absolutely going to meet you at the top and smack that ball away. Next play, this dude is in transition. Does not see Adou on the weak side, skying in. He thought he had an easy lay-in. Nope. Just look at the air that Adou gets. Just look at his standing reach in full effect, where his hand is, swatting the ball away at its peak. Yeah, this dude is just an athletic freak, and I am so glad that he's on the Lakers. All right, so that does it for my quick, janky film breakdown of Adou's tape. If I had to give some NBA comps for Adou, I'd probably say he reminds me of Jonathan Kuminga, to be honest with you. Maybe not as offensively skilled as Jonathan Kuminga, but maybe more defensively attuned to things. Maybe more, he might have a better defensive motor than Kuminga. His frame and the way that he moves with the ball also kind of reminds me of Gigi Jackson from 2 years ago. They're both super strong, they're both super physical, also super explosive. But at the same time, from some of the clips that I've seen of him putting the ball on the floor, operating as a lob threat, as an off ball cutter, I mean, he does have some scoring primary creation potential as well. And again, he used to be a guard in high school. So there's something there beyond just being a straight 3 and D one-dimensional wing player. And so, yeah, Jonathan Kuminga, Gigi Jackson, maybe more leaning towards the defensive end of the floor than offensive end. And then if his three-point shot is ever able to actually round into form and he's able to actually fill out that 3 portion of the 3 and D requirement, I could also see him being like a Robert Covington type player, like a 3-4 who slides between the two, or a prime Jeremy Grant when he was with the Denver Nuggets, the dude who just kind of did all the tertiary ancillary things, all the hustle, dirty work type of stuff, but also could knock down a 3, could put the ball on the floor in a pinch, attack closeouts, and just be super physical, strong, and athletic in the paint. And so, yeah, I have high hopes for Adou Thiero. He's a very, very interesting prospect. Who knows if he can refine his skill set and become like a starting level wing. But right now, this is all I could ask for in terms of the Lakers got physical, moldable clay that they can work with. No, he's not a center. No, he's not a big man. But what he is a speedy, athletic, explosive, posterizing, highlight reel Sports Center top 10 sort of player that the Lakers desperately needed. That'll do it for this video. I have rambled on long enough. Guys, please do me a huge favor and like this video, comment down below, and please hit subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, more to come. The offseason has just begun. And again, kudos to Rob Pelinka. Kudos to the Lakers. They did it again. And this time, now I will finally bid you adieu. This has been Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.